Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the tennis world lately. The rise of AI and how it's quietly, or not so quietly, making its way into players' lives. And no, I'm not talking about robots playing tennis, though that would be a sight. What's fascinating here is how top athletes are using tools like ChatGPT, not just for their game, but for everything from personality analysis to life hacks. It's a whole new ball game, and it raises some pretty interesting questions. Here's the thing, AI isn't just a tech trend anymore. It's becoming a part of how athletes strategize, prepare, and even understand themselves. Take Emma Raducanu, for example. She's using ChatGPT for everything, literally everything. From random history facts to personality insights, she's all in. What's really intriguing is her idea of a chat Wrapped, like a Spotify Wrapped but for her AI usage. Personally, I think this is a brilliant way to reflect on how much we rely on these tools. It's not just about convenience, it's about what these interactions say about us. What makes this really interesting is how AI is becoming a mirror, reflecting our habits, quirks, and even our personalities back at us. It's almost like having a digital therapist, but one that's eerily accurate. Now, let's talk about AI and tennis strategy. Jessica Pegula mentioned that some players are using ChatGPT to scout opponents. In my opinion, this is where things get a bit tricky. On one hand, AI can provide quick, concise insights, something that's invaluable when you're prepping for a match. But here's the catch. How reliable is it? Pegula herself admits that players might cross-reference AI's advice with other sources. What many people don't realize is that AI, while powerful, is only as good as the data it's trained on. If there's a lack of information on a player, the insights might be shallow or even misleading. This raises a deeper question. Are we outsourcing critical thinking to machines? And if so, what does that mean for the human element of the game? Bianca Andreescu's experience is a perfect example of this. She used ChatGPT to scout an unfamiliar opponent on the ITA circuit, and it worked out well for her. But here's where it gets nuanced. She specifically asked the AI to be detailed and thorough. This isn't just about plugging in a query. It's about knowing how to ask the right questions. From my perspective, this highlights a bigger trend. AI isn't a magic wand. It's a tool that requires skill to use effectively. If you take a step back and think about it, this is true for any technology. The real value lies in how we interact with it, not the tool itself. Now, not everyone's on board with this AI revolution. Ziza Bergs, for instance, dismissed AI-generated scouting reports as completely trash. Daniil Medvedev sees AI as an armchair coach, great at giving advice, but useless when it comes to execution. And Coco Gauff? She asked AI for the best strategy to play against herself, only to be told what she already knew. What this really suggests is that AI, while useful, has its limits. It can't replace experience, intuition, or the sheer unpredictability of human performance. One thing that immediately stands out is how players are using AI as a supplement, not a replacement, for traditional methods. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. The debate isn't just about tennis. Players are questioning AI's role in their lives outside the court. Francis Tiafoe, for instance, is a self-proclaimed AI skeptic. He prefers good old Google searches, and there's something refreshing about that. Yelena Ostapenko, on the other hand, uses ChatGPT, but with a healthy dose of skepticism, citing a story about someone who got stuck in an airport because AI gave them wrong visa information. What makes this really interesting is how AI is forcing us to rethink our relationship with technology. Are we becoming too reliant? Are we losing the ability to think for ourselves? These are questions that go far beyond the tennis court. Then there's the environmental angle, which players like Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff are vocal about. AI's water consumption is a concern, and it's a detail I find fascinating. It's easy to get caught up in the convenience of these tools without considering the broader impact. If you take a step back and think about it, this is a microcosm of a larger issue: the trade-offs we make with technology. How much are we willing to sacrifice for efficiency? And who gets to decide that? Finally, there's the human element. IGA Swiatek uses AI to write emails, while Alina Svitolina asks ChatGPT for fashion advice. These are small, almost trivial uses, but they speak to something bigger. AI is becoming a part of our daily lives, whether we like it or not. What this really suggests is that we are at a crossroads. Do we embrace AI as a tool to enhance our lives, or do we resist it, fearing it'll make us lazy or disconnected? Personally, I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle. It's about finding balance, using AI where it adds value, but not letting it replace the things that make us human. So, here's my closing thought. AI in tennis, or any field, isn't just about the technology, it's about us. How we use it, how we question it, and how we adapt to it. It's a reflection of our values, our priorities, and our fears. As we watch players like Raducanu, Andreescu, and Tiafoe navigate this new landscape, we're not just witnessing a shift in sports. We're seeing a snapshot of humanity's evolving relationship with technology. And that, my friends, is the real game changer. What do you think? Are we ready for this AI-driven future, or are we moving too fast? Let me know in the comments below.